What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? JamiroFan 2000 here with yet another episode of JamiroFan Talks About. This, of course, has been my recurring discussion series of nearly 10 years here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel, looking at the past, present, and future of over 30 years of Jamiroquai. And this is going to be yet another update episode talking about one of the hotly contested discussion topics in the modern Jamily right now here as we enter into May of 2026. Of course, I'm talking about Diskokid. Now, as previously discussed here on JamiroFan Talks About, to many members of the Jamily surprise, a Jamiroquai, what started out as originally instrumental, made its way onto the soundtrack of a very prominent Hollywood film called The Devil Wears Prada 2. Well, according to some published reports that came out in the latter part of April of 2026, this new song by Jamiroquai, which originally was found on music copyright repertories as Diskokid, as being one of the newest registered Jamiroquai songs with a co-writing credit to both Rob Harris and J.K. of Jamiroquai. Well, it turned out that song was going to be part of the soundtrack for The Devil Wears Prada 2. Now this movie and both the movie and the soundtrack did come out on Friday, May 1st of 2026, and many reports have been rolling in from members of the Jamily having seen this movie that there was a notation at the end of the movie in what is known as the end credits of the movie, where they show all the credits of the people who made the movie and the song credits for all the songs used in said movie. Now, like I said, that song had originally was titled Diskokid, but now is known as Diskokid, and I'm here with yet another update with more little bits of information about this that have been yielded out of these reports from members of the Jamily going to see The Devil Wears Prada 2. Now, the original reports did say that this song was prominently played in the end credits of the said movie, Devil Wears Prada 2, but now turns out that it's not within the credits being played in its full instrumental glory, but it's actually being played within the movie itself. There is a scene, and I will not say what timestamp in the movie is. I'm sure people want to go to the cinema to hear the Jamiroquai song for themselves, but there is a scene in the movie between two of the prominent characters played by Anne Hathaway and John Turturro, where they are having lunch, and that is where, according to members of the Jamily and their published reports, or they have been sending me in, having seen the movie, on where the placing of this song, Diskokid, could be in the movie to be in that main scene from that movie. Now, like I said, the only thing that is in the actual end credits, and a bit of a correction on my last episode of JamiroFan Talks About, is that there is a notation of the song in the credits at the end of the movie, but it is not on the soundtrack. Now, there are two separate soundtracks for The Devil Wears Prada 2 that were released on May 1st of 2025. There was the one with all the music from like Lady Gaga, Dua Lipa, many other musical luminaries on that soundtrack. And then there's one called the original score, which of course is all the incidental music used in the movie for different branching scenes within that movie. Some of the music in the end credits had been misconstrued as potential Jamiroquai songs. In this case, Diskokid, but didn't turn out to be that. So, after a lot of looking through the original score and the original soundtrack, we pretty much know where the song is in the movie The Devil Wears Prada 2, and it's really cool that Jamiroquai, that this was found and yielded by many reports from members of the Jamily, and I'd like to send a big thank you to all the members of the Jamily who sent me the reports, having seen The Devil Wears Prada 2, and it was a group effort in trying to find out where this song was within the confines of this very popular movie, and I saw the original Devil Wears Prada back in 2006, and I thought it was an absolute hilarious take on the crazy cutting world of the fashion industry, and apparently the sequel is really well done too, so hopefully I'll get a chance to go see a movie for myself. But for the time being, also the biggest question coming out of this whole Diskokid conversation is Diskokid on the upcoming 9th Jamiroquai album? Now, that answer will definitely come to us in that aforementioned notation in the end credits of The Devil Wears Prada 2. Now, that notation says, at least at the bottom, Diskokid, written by Rob Harris and J.K. of Jamiroquai, but there's a very interesting passage here, which I will read in its entirety so you can wrap your head around this. The part of this notation in question reads as follows, quote, courtesy of Jamiroquai Limited under exclusive license to BMG Rights Management UK Limited. Now, there's your answer. Diskokid, or at least that new song, which does, and I forgot to note this at the beginning of this episode, JamiroFan Talks About, according to some of the fans who went and saw the movie, the song does have vocals. It does have vocals from JK and the backup singers of Jamiroquai on this song. Apparently, musically, is very strings heavy, so I had to say that part right there that I missed out on noting at the beginning of this episode, JamiroFan Talks About. Anyway, I digress. With that notation, with it being under exclusive license to BMG Rights Management, and we all remember back in, I think it was late March, Jamiroquai and JK had announced an official global new recording deal with the BMG music record label imprint. So this confirms this license, exclusive license agreement here in this notation at the end of the movie of the Devil Wears Prada 2 in its end credits does confirm that Diskokid will be the fourth known official confirmed track for Jamiroquai album 9, just because of that little detail that I pointed out right there. And you can see it for yourself. I did make a screen capture from the end credits from a fan who graciously recorded the end credits sequence so we could see that notation for Diskokid from Jamiroquai for itself. I'll be sure to put a link to that picture down in the description area of this episode, JamiroFan Talks About, down below, so you can see it for yourself. Like I said, this is awesome. This stirs. So we now know 4 confirmed titles for Jamiroquai album 9. The first 3, of course, we know. The Disco stays the same. Parentheses, Stop the War, Shadow in the Night, Queen Machine, and now Diskokid. Now, like I reported in many videos here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel, there are yet to be more registrations of new songs from Jamiroquai album 9 that will be hitting the music copyright repertories and search engines. As of right now, given that they have already started licensing out music from this 9th Jamiroquai album, whatever the heck it's called, that makes the window of release even more potential for summer of 2026. So our first single, and then of course inevitably a new album release, and I'm sure all that information will be coming out on the official outlets on Jamiroquai HQ on social media going into May of 2026. So any more further speculations or any more news comes across my table and I can get a confirmation on them from my sources or from happenstance, I'll be certainly covering all that upcoming information and updates here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel when that information becomes available and confirmed. But for the time being, I hope many members of the channel get a chance to go out and see the Devil Wears Prada 2 and look out for that pitiable scene where you get to hear a little bit of that new 9th Jamiroquai album song, Diskokid. And massive thanks to all the members of the Jamily who came together in the community to help us cull through this movie and try to find where this song was and get that extra information from the end credits of that movie out to the Jamily in short measure. A massive thank you to everybody who helped out on this whole really cool process. But like I said, much more information is probably going to be starting to come out here in the first and further weeks of May of 2026. So be subscribed and keep your eyes on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel for further updates about tour editions for the Latin South American tour legs here in 2026 in the latter part of this year. Hopefully a U.S. tour leg, and of course the biggest information, more information about Jamiroquai album 9, the first single, the track list, when it's coming out, what formats is it coming out. So all that information will hopefully be coming, hopefully not in small doses, but in one big announcement drop, and I will do the due diligence to bring that information to you once it's confirmed when I can. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. Thank you again for watching this episode of JamiroFan Talks About. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe and ding the bell on your YouTube. Stay up to date on all the latest new content coming from the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel as we venture into May of 2026 and ensure exciting times of more major announcements from Jamiroquai down the pipeline. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000, and I'll see you here really soon with more Jamiroquai related videos here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Bye bye everybody, take care, exciting times, and I'll see you around.